You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Panicked at CBS as Bari Weiss eyes blockbuster sit down, based on an article by Tom Bogany. Bari Weiss is not seeking clarity. She is seeking cover. Who holds power? The center of gravity here is not a wounded editor trying to explain herself. It is a media executive with institutional power operating inside Paramount's broader corporate anxiety, while a separate $111 billion acquisition hangs over the company. Bari Weiss is not powerless. Either as CBS news head, she made decisions that reshaped the network and triggered the backlash now closing in on her. The source makes that hierarchy plain even as it dresses the situation up as a personality drama. This is not a story about hurt feelings. It is a story about a powerful executive trying to manage the consequences of decisions she helped create. The interview is the tactic. Weiss's reported plan to appear on a sympathetic podcast is not accountability. It is damage control. She wants a friendly interviewer, a controlled setting, and a narrative reset. That is why the reported outreach to Michael Barbaro matters not as journalism, but as access strategy. The charm offensive described in the source fits a familiar pattern: off-the-record calls, private meetings, selective media courtship. The goal is not to answer criticism. It is to launder it through a softer venue and call the explanation. The damage is already real. The source does not leave much room for spin. Under Weiss's leadership, CBS News ratings have fallen to historic lows. She has been accused of ethical violations by some of the network's most respected journalists. CBS has denied those allegations, but denial is not the same thing as repair. Then there is the 60 Minutes purge, which produced mass staff resignations and a public relations catastrophe. That is the actual record the interview is meant to eclipse. When an executive can burn through trust, provoke resignations, and then seek a platform to clear her name, the problem is not confusion, it is consequence. What the framing hides, the weakest part of the coverage is the idea that this is mainly about whether Weiss should do a blockbuster sit down. That framing shifts attention away from the institution's conduct and onto the optics of her defense. It turns governance failure into a media scheduling question. The more revealing detail is Paramount's reported fear that any public appearance would complicate the acquisition and increase scrutiny. That is institutional cowardice in plain language. The company does not appear eager to confront the substance of the scandal. It wants the scandal to stop interfering with the deal. A pattern. This is the standard elite media maneuver: concentrate power, create damage, then call the aftermath a communications problem. A leader makes decisions that unsettle staff and break public trust. Executives then worry about optics, not accountability. Journalists become potential props in the cleanup. The deeper pattern is not just corruption or mismanagement. It is a habit of powerful institutions treating accountability as a reputational hazard to be minimized. When the people at the top can do serious damage and then shop for a softer narrative, the system is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Norman. Thanks for listening.